Hello, I'm Kitty MEARS, and you can normally catch me over on my own channel talking about stand-up comedy, but today I'm here with Vulture because it's almost 2020. And with that, we wanted to take a look back at all that has happened in stand-up in the last 10 years. And a lot has happened in stand-up in the last 10 years. We've chosen 6 specials that made us laugh, a few that made us cry, but all in all, these are 6 specials that reminded us why we fell in love with stand-up comedy in the first place, along with showcasing what's new and what's around the corner for us. Since 2012, Netflix has produced over 200 specials, and we love so many of them, but we've got to go with Ali Wong's special, Baby Cobra.
It's very rare and unusual to see a female comic perform pregnant, because female comics don't get pregnant.
Ali is a force to be reckoned with. She's a powerhouse, and in Baby Cobra she covers traditional gender roles, marriage, parenting, with that incredible touch.
Oh my God, I can't believe he comes to all your doctor's appointments. He is so supportive. Guess who else has to go to those doctor appointments? Me!
We love this special for its chutzpah. It has real oomph. The writing is on point, the delivery is fierce, but above all, it's that honesty that really seals it for us. In Baby Cobra, she gives voice to a criminally underrepresented group in stand-up comedy, which is mothers.
Meanwhile, the mom is at home, chapping her nipples, feeding the fucking baby.
Baby Cobra rocketed Ali into fame. She had a quick follow-up, an original film that she wrote and starred in, even a book. So much. All we can say is that you know you've made it if people are dressing up as you for Halloween. We love our comedy readers. We like a little avant-garde kick in our stand-up, and if there's one wave that we've seen really thriving this past decade, it's that kind of non-traditional special. Laurel, for example, performed in a high school. Drew Michael had his Black Void special. But for our money, it doesn't get any better than Maria Bamford in her living room performing for her parents in the special.
I used to be like you. I used to know the difference between right and wrong. But then I moved to Los Angeles and I lost 10 pounds because they take away the food before you're done. You're done.
As a stand-up comedian, she's known for her theatricality, her impeccable impressions, and her openness about her mental health issues. Maria has been diagnosed with bipolar II and OCD, and while comedians have been talking about their mental health issues on stage for generations, we saw a particular upswing this decade. Specials like Gary Gulman's Great DEPRESH or Neil Brennan's 3 Mics, and Maria played a huge role in that, giving a real vocabulary to that. In the past, she's been described as a comics comic, but it's safe to say she's outgrown that description. She's grown as an artist, and she's sort of a de facto ambassador for the normalization of mental health issues. We don't know anyone that could come close to what Maria Bamford does, even in just her living room. What happens when a comedian questions more than just the setting and the audience? What happens when they question what stand-up even is, what stand-up can be? We just love the genre-bending experience of Bo Burnham in Make Happy.
I have a huge amount of trouble fitting my hand inside of a Pringle can. I can get my hand like 4 inches into the can, but then I have to tilt the can into my mouth.
There were a good number of specials this decade where, in a vacuum, we don't really know what we would call them, and Make Happy is sort of chief among them, but frankly, we kind of like that. Bo Burnham's Make Happy has songs, monologues, jokes, and rants. That's to say nothing about the production value or the directing, even just the lighting. The highlight of the special, Make Happy, is the last chunk, where it starts with a heartfelt monologue about social media, and it transitions into this Kanye West-inspired rant about mental health and performance.
You can tell them anything if you just make it funny, make it rhyme.
I don't think I'm going out on a limb here to call Bo Burnham one of the most eloquent and affecting artists of his generation. But that said, please don't forget all of his really great dick jokes. As much as we love our weirdos and our challenges to the form, there were also just some incredible, straightforward stand-up. Like, you know, think more Seinfeld, less Kaufman. We loved Nate Bargatze's Full-Time Magic, we loved Sarah Silverman's We Are Miracles, Mark Maron's Thinky Pain, but we'd be lying to ourselves if we gave this to anyone except John Mulaney. We loved all of John Mulaney's specials. It was a tough call, because we love New in Town, but we think Mulaney's only getting sharper, which is why our number 3 pick is Kid Gorgeous at Radio City.
We've all seen a bird in the airport. This is a horse loose in a hospital.
There's something oddly fitting about John Mulaney up there in front of that garish backdrop performing in a sold-out run at Radio City Music Hall of all places. John Mulaney is an incredibly skilled writer. His delivery is on point.
I pitched him a joke and he went, no funny.
He comes off as young, yet old, deft, yet casual. The man contains multitudes. Despite the fact that this is just an album and we might be fudging the rules, we couldn't imagine not having it near the top of our list. It's a special that wasn't even supposed to exist. The heartbreakingly beautiful 2012 album, Tig Notaro's Live.
I have cancer. How are you? Hi, how are you? Is everybody having a good time? I have cancer. How are you?
Before Live, her comedy was dry and deadpan. She liked experimental, offbeat sort of humor, but her jokes were always pretty far away from her personal life. But then in the spring of 2012, she was diagnosed with a life-threatening bacterial disease that put her in the hospital. Over the next few months, things just continued to pile up. She went through a breakup, her mother passed away in a freak accident, and then finally she was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer. A few days after her diagnosis, Tig performed a 30-minute set at the Largo Theater. She walked into the set fully aware that it might be the last time she ever performed.
Yeah, the outside of the card says, "So you have cancer." Sad face. Then you open the card. It says, "Thank goodness, I've been looking for a reason to shave my head."
She's created a situation where the joke is the joke, right? The joke is the idea of a jokey joke here. It's a beautiful collision of these two wildly different approaches to comedy. You know, to keep the crowd at arm's length, doing joke, 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 or to let them in, let them see everything, that confessional style. She's able to succeed at so many different things in this special, and it's so much of what we love about stand-up. When we think about the 2010s, when we think about the role that stand-up comedy has played and the shapes that it has taken, there's really just one main special that we just kind of can't get out of our heads. This special just got into our craw and refused to leave. And we're talking, of course, about JERROD Carmichael's 8.
To be a great boyfriend means you gotta text. You gotta, like, not only do you have to like respond to text, you also have to send like random, unsolicited happy texts. You know, just random 3 p.m. thinking about you when you're not at all. It's 3, you're thinking about important shit like a sandwich or ISIS.
All told, it's a very strange special. The audience in the room is experiencing something very different than the audience watching at home. JERROD and the director, which is BURNHAM, making his second appearance on this list, they were very mindful about their choices and their styling and the intimacy that they were able to reach here. So much of stand-up comedy is people yelling their opinions, pitching things, trying to get you to agree with them. They're right, others are wrong. This isn't that, guys. This is someone literally saying, I want to care, I want to feel strongly about things, but I don't.
I don't feel strongly about anything. I don't have a cause that I champion. A lot of you do, and good for you.
That push and pull, that tension between what we see right now and what we want and what we think we deserve, that tension was so central to just the teens in general, but to so much comedy in the teens. You know, everything Jesselnick touches or Hannah Gadsby's Nanette is really built upon this wall of what tension is and how it operates within stand-up. But if there's one special that really personifies the particular tension of the teens, it's JERROD Carmichael's 8. We felt it, and for those reasons, it couldn't be anywhere except the top of our list.
If you have a bumper sticker on your car, just know we could never be friends.